kale plus cauliflower, and what do you get? A disappointing figure. Let's talk about it.
Kefla's height to the very tippy top of her hair, she's about 5.5 inches. To the top of her forehead, she's about closer to 4.5 inches. To get a good idea of how Kefla scales with the rest of the Dragon Ball line, here's two of your standard body figures: Ultimate Gohan with the 3.0 body, and Ultra Instinct Goku with the 2.0 body.
Okay, so kicking it off, we get 3 facial expressions. We get one yelling face, one gritting teeth face, and one cocky smiling face. All these facial expressions are done very well, by the way. This looks like Kefla. Like, they didn't go wrong. And the hair sculpt, might I add, is on point as well. But let's continue forward. For Kefla's hand accessories, we get a variety of different options. So, kicking it off, we get some open palm hands, some open palm kind of grabby hands, fist hands, and also we get one pointing hand, one cupping hand, and we also get an open palm hand with a peg on it, which will lead us to our next set of accessories. For the last bit of accessories, we get a variety of things. First of all, as we just talked about with the peg hand, you get a blast accessory that pegs into that hand. So, basically, the blast accessory is fine. It's a red color, not really, it could have used some shading, but it's definitely not horrible. We get a cross arm accessory, which is always going to be a staple with Dragon Ball characters looking, cool. And last but certainly not least, we get her swirly blast effect hand. Now this effect, I just want to give a little caution. The edge of this blast effect are very sharp. Please be careful, like it actually hurts to touch. But other than that, the saturation on the red part of the swirly effect looks very good. The only thing I wish is that the greenish part had more saturation to it and was less clear, so we can get that anime effect. I'll put a GIF up somewhere on the screen. Also, the swirly blast effect comes with hands pre-attached to the blast, so it makes attaching it to Kefla much easier, I think, than having the energy effects be separate and something that pegs into the hand. Now, I will say, this energy effect is gonna be a little bit, you're gonna need something to hold them up if you're gonna display it, because she has very little arms, and we're gonna get to her arms in a little bit, but she has very little arms, so the weight of that plastic is gonna bring her arms down, so you're gonna need something to hold that up. But with that being said, good amount of accessories. Only thing I would complain about is we could have probably gotten a base head for something, or something like that. But moving forward.
Okay, real quick, I want to talk about the aesthetic. The head is a bit big, and I think she's a bit slender. And I think this is one of the, more minor things that add to the my disappointment with this figure. Is it a deal breaker? No, but I'll put some references, images up so y'all could see what I'm talking about. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to discuss this, and the rest of the articulation segment is going to be silent with music. QC issues. So straight out of the box, when I first got this figure, it definitely had the arm pop off very easily like that. And I remember vaguely hearing some other people saying that they had that same issue. But definitely no bueno, especially for a premium Bandai figure. But moving forward. So for the double jointed knee, it looks pretty good. I mean, it works pretty good, but if you use it and you adjust it like that, that thing looks hideous. This does not look good at all. I don't know why they designed the knee like that. Okay, so for the final verdict, Articulation, 7 out of 10. Accessories, 9 out of 10. And as overall aesthetic, 7.5 out of 10. Now that we got the ratings out of the way, and I'll put the overall rating somewhere in the video. One thing I would like to say is that the first thing, the articulation isn't the worst, but it isn't the best. It's like, funny enough, leaning back, this figure is wonderful, great, everything. The hips, pretty terrible for, especially the time period this figure came out. Even a lot of the 2.0 body figures is better than this, hip-wise. I don't know what they were doing. It felt like whoever made this figure, or whoever was in charge of making this figure, didn't like Kefla. That's the vibe I always got, because it came out so mediocre. It didn't come out terrible, but it's just so lackluster in terms of the figure itself. Now the accessories is the strongest part of this figure, but in terms of sculpt and articulation, it's just very meh. No, it leaves more to be desired. No, overall, should you go out there and play secondary market prices for this figure? I can't say with a lot of confidence that you should do that. I can't at all really say that, because you're paying it. First of all, this was a premium Bandai exclusive, so it's going to be harder to find. And then two, you got the secondary market. You multiply those two things, you're going to be paying an arm and a leg for this figure, which I don't think you should. But the thing is, this is the only Kefla figure out on the market as far as I know. Even Dragon Stars I don't think has a Kefla figure. You can correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe I'll look it up after I finish editing the video. But this is the only Kefla figure that you're gonna have, unless you get like a really good customizer. And by the time they get, let's say Tamashii takes another crack at it, who knows how long that's gonna take. We still have to get through the rest of the Android saga. Then we got to do the Boo saga in terms of figures, and then we're just getting into Super, and that's the beginning part of Super, not the Tournament of Power. So unless she appears again, I almost can't even see us getting a redone version of this figure. That could be all she wrote, but we'll see. Time will tell the tale. Until next time, guys, thank you. You guys have gotten, we almost at, once again, we're not almost at 700 subscribers, but we like more than halfway to 700 subscribers in terms of like, yeah, 650 something right now. Another 50 subscribers, we'll be at 700, and I can't thank y'all enough. Y'all are really helping me. Yeah, I wish one day I'll tell the story of why this was so helpful to me. But until next time, Bombastic Plastic out.